Yeah,
a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
What was your spin on whether it needed to be stopped and what happened that night? Just very briefly. And again, you feel free to say as much or as little as you want about this.
I mean, so it's not the first time that this has happened. In some of the previous meetings, we have had groups and individuals who have attended where they've put in kind of questions to the council, which they can do, and they can speak to those questions then within the chamber. And some of these individuals and groups had done that before the last meeting. And I think in the past, there was the odd person who kind of lost their head and was shouting and roaring, but they were asked to leave and then they left. I suppose I was very surprised that they were allowed to stay this time. You know, I was very surprised about that. I think the meeting was stopped once. It was paused once, so that some order could be established, and then it was resumed within 15 or 20 minutes, and then it just ended up in farce again because you had lots of people who were in the public gallery shouting, you know, shouting at the Labour group and shouting towards the mayor, etc., etc. You know, I do think it could have been managed better, and I probably, you know, I haven't heard the detail of how it's going to be managed in the future, but I suspect that it will be managed better. But what I will say is that some of these groups, yeah, they have very odd views, and a couple of times in recent months I've been stopped outside going into the council chamber outside Bootle Town Hall, and I've been asked questions around vaccines, around chemtrails, and around 5G, and I've just gave them honest answers. You know, if there's science behind any of that, I'm happy to hear the science and agree with it. You know, that's the person I am. It's as simple as that. But I think what probably should happen, and I'm hoping it's happened since, I think the council officers should engage with those people in the meantime